Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I'm all done up. Nice dress. How you doing? Today's recipe is going to be a three-parter. We're going to have homemade vegan pizza. The crusts we didn't make from scratch, but we did get two of them for $1. And we're going to be making chickenless buffalo chicken wings, but we're going to be using cauliflower. And for our dessert, we're going to be making chocolate-covered bananas with almonds and coconut bits that are going to be sprinkled on top. We're going to start our recipe with our pizza, because while that's cooking, we can make everything else. So stay tuned. We're going to have 3 dishes today, and on our Valentine's Day. I actually tried today, if you didn't tell. What's up? And let's make some food. I was going to wear an apron, but I look much skinnier like this, so we're doing this. And this is wash and wear anyway, so screw it. Alright, I've got our 2-for-$1 dollar store special, Dollar Tree pizza crusts. Now, I am going to have a recipe video out on how to make gluten-free pizza crusts, but that probably won't be coming till at least May, because I've got everything planned until the middle of March. So we're going to open our pizza crusts. I've got a scissor in my drawer. Now, if you want, pizza crust varies from person to person. Pizza toppings vary from person to person. So if you don't like the things I'm going to be putting on my pizza, don't put them on your pizza. Put the things you like on your pizza. I am a giant weirdo when it comes to toppings, and I've been told so on many occasions that I like weird stuff on my pizza. So to start off our pizza crust, we're going to take, let's see, we're going to need olive oil, and we're going to need to season our crust. So we're going to take basil, parsley, garlic powder, and oregano, and we're going to take these 4 seasonings. We're going to take our olive oil, we're going to add in a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, and if you'd like, you can also, instead of using olive oil, you can use about a tablespoon of dairy-free vegan butter. Alright, so we're going to take this, and we're actually going to use a coffee cup, teacup really, and we're going to take about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're just going to drizzle that in. That's not an exact science, because if you're going to be making more than one, you don't need these exact measurements. And I'm going to take my little tiny measuring cup, my little tiny measuring spoons, and I'm going to take my 1/8 of a teaspoon, and I'm going to doing 1/8 of a teaspoon of basil, 1/8 of a teaspoon of parsley, 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of oregano. Now, we're going to season our crust with olive oil before we put in our sauce and our other toppings, because we want to season our crust. That way the crust, even though it's cheap, will still be a really good component of our dish. I'm going to put all my caps back on my seasonings. Now, I'm going to have this one cut together today. It's not going to be one long shot probably. So you're going to have cuts where this is all going to be here, and then the next minute it's going to be gone. So expect that. Okay, we're going to add a little bit more olive oil on top, just to in case our seasoning's in it, before we stir it and brush it on. Now, I have a little food service brush that I can use that I'm going to be putting on to put this in my, I'm going to be putting this in to put it all over my crust. And we're going to do that first. So we're going to mix that together with a spoon. I'm going to hunt down my little brush that I know where it is, but this is a kitchen that constantly moves. Oh, here it is. I thought it was in another bin. Awesome. Never mind. We're good like this. Alright. We're going to take that, we're going to put our spoon off to the side, and we're going to take our brush. We're going to make sure we get our seasonings on it, and we're going to just brush that over the top of our crust. Now, I like more of a hand toss kind of crust. I'm not really into like deep dish and things like that, because it's like, I'm about the toppings and the cheese. Now, when I talk about the cheese, today we're going to be using store-bought cheese, but I do have a wonderful recipe for some homemade mozzarella that you're going to be getting to see soon. And I'm going to actually have that recipe when I do my gluten-free crusts. So we're going to be making homemade mozzarella in a different video. I was going to make it today, but I seem to be short on time. And we're not going to be able to do that. But we're going to do this, and it's going to be awesome regardless. Alright, I'm going to pop this in my oven for 350 degrees for about 10 minutes just to get the olive oil and the seasonings to kind of bake into the crust while I chop off all my vegetables that's going to go on top of my pizza. So I'm going to see you in about 2 minutes my time, 30 seconds your time. I'll be right back. And we're back. Now, I adore weird things on my pizza. I've told you this just a few minutes ago. I actually have about 3 or 4 fresh mushrooms I'm going to be putting. I have some lovely banana peppers that I got from the Dollar Tree also. And I've got spinach. And I've also got diced tomatoes from the can. Because those we can season if we want to. And a good recipe to do for that is actually roast those tomatoes before you put them on your pizza and have them seasoned, which is really good. Or if they're going to be the only topping on your pizza, that's a good bet. So we're going to take our mushrooms, we're going to chop them in half, and you're just going to cut them in the type of slices that you like to eat. I like a lot of mushroom, so even though this is a very small crust, there's going to be lots of mushrooms and lots of spinach on mine. Now, if you want to, I had almost done it myself, is to get those Italian brown sausage, tofurkey sausages, and cut those up, and put that on your pizza as well. That would also be very good. But today, I'm just wanting vegetables on my pizza. And nobody wants a giant clump of sausage falling out of their mouth when they're eating with someone else. But if you're eating alone, I support that. If you're not, I support that also. I'm going to be eating alone, but that's okay. Because now I get to eat an entire pizza by myself. And some wings. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to chop up the rest of my mushrooms. Now, I don't know if I've said this before, but when I do go grocery shopping, I get my pantry staples from Dollar Tree, and I get my fresh vegetables from the local shops in town. There's one local grocery store in Walmart, and I'll try to see if the local store has what I need before I head to Walmart. Because I'm not going to say it, but I think everyone has the same idea of Walmart. If you've worked there or shopped there for more than 5 minutes in your life. We don't need that negativity today, so we're not going to leave that out. Just about finished chopping up my mushrooms here. Now, before I forget, I actually have paired this meal with some wine. And I want to make it clear that you should not drink alcohol unless you are of age in your country and you've got consent with an adult and all that good stuff. So I do not condone underage drinking, but I have paired this meal with some rosé wine, a little tiny pink wine, in order to help celebrate Valentine's Day. Hearts and flowers and pink stuff. Yay. Alright, I've got that all cut up. And when my pizza comes out, I'm going to put my sauce on. I'm going to put my tomatoes and everything else. And I've got my baby spinach that I'm going to be putting on as well. Now that our crust is done, take that off. We're going to take a spatula. We're going to ease that off of our rack. Put that down here. Alright, and I'm going to take a big sort of soup spoon. And that's what I'm going to use to put my tomato sauce on my pizza. I've got the roasted garlic flavored tomato sauce. I didn't get a pizza sauce because I seasoned my crust, and all things you would use in the pizza sauce I've already put. And this is cheaper, and I can also use it for other things as well, like making a pasta sauce later. Hint, hint, that might be another video coming up soon, because homegirl found some gnocchi at the Dollar Tree, and that stuff is amazing. It's not gluten-free, but it is delicious and it's cheap. Now, I'm not completely gluten-free, but I do try to be as often as possible. And I try to be inclusive as possible as I can in my videos. So if you do have a gluten allergy, I am going to have recipes coming up for you if you do not see something you can eat in these recipes. But I am thinking of you, and I'm taking care of it, okay? Alright, before I add in all my other ingredients, I'm going to take some fresh spinach. I'm going to put that on top of my pizza. I like a lot of spinach, and as it cooks, it shrinks up. We'll put that there. We're going to put our mushrooms. Now, I believe in cheese on top of ingredients. And this is going to be a very full pizza. Might actually make two, but who cares? They're tiny. They're tiny little pan pizzas. Pan personal pieces. Alright. Alright. Now I'm going to take some of my, you know what, I'm going to take some of those off. I'm going to take a fork, and I'm going to get a few of these little diced tomatoes to put on top. Now, the key to building the pizza with spinach is you put spinach first, and then you layer the other toppings on top. So when you put it in an oven with a fan, the fan doesn't blow all the spinach off the top of the pizza and make it melt all over the inside the oven and cause everything to burn. Fun fact, happened to me twice. So when you're going to put spinach on anything that you're going to be putting in the oven, put it as a bottom layer so the other layers can hold it down so it won't blow around in your oven if you've got an oven with a fan in it. Alright, got that in there. I'm going to see if I can open this. Alright, I'll grab another fork. And these banana peppers. I love the kind of pickly kind of taste of banana peppers. And I've just recently started eating them, but I absolutely love them. Put that on top. Just a few here and there. Like I'm saying, this is a very small pizza that I'm making. But if you were with someone else, or you were making a different recipe with a different pizza crust, it probably would be different. You'd probably be making two of them. You know, put one more right there. Alright, I got those on there. Alright, we are going to, we're going to put our cheese on top of our ingredients here. And when our pizza comes out the oven, we're actually going to have a secret topping that I'm going to put on after it's out the oven that has to stay cold so it tastes good. So I'm going to get my cheese into my ice box because it's hard to bend down in this dress. And then I'll see you back in a second. If I'm anything, I'm completely honest. I have entirely too much crap on my face, and it's hard to bend down in this dress. Just give me 2 minutes. And we're back. I've got my cheese out. I've got my spinach. I've got my mushrooms, my diced tomatoes, and banana peppers. And now I'm taking this chow sliced cheese from Field Roast. I've used these in some other videos as well. You're going to see probably my breakfast video, my breakfast tacos. It might be in there. we're going to be taking this and we're going to be cutting 2 slices into 4. We're going to be 2 slices, and we're just going to put those around the pizza because they're going to hopefully melt. I think they do. I've used these before and they melted. And we're going to put it like that. I don't know if you can see it. No, that's even worse. There we go. Move these slices around a little bit. Just to finagle them. Alright. Going to take my spatula. Put my pizza back in the oven. Hopefully not losing half my ingredients in the grill. There we go. Alright. Gonna put the top back on. So I get my cheese slices to cooperate. Alright. Put that back on. And we're going to put this for about 10 minutes because we just need the cheese to melt and the ingredients to heat up so it's not cold. So it took 350 degrees for about, I'll put 15 minutes. Alright, while that's doing its thing, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to cut up my secret ingredient, and then we're going to get ready for our next recipe, which after our pizza's out, our wings are going to go at the bottom. I'll see you in just a second. And we're back, everyone. Everything is all set. Now, we're going to be making, I think I said earlier we were making buffalo. We're going to be making barbecue wings out of cauliflower. Now, to start off our batter to dredge our cauliflower in, we're going to take 1 cup of oat flour, because this is vegan and it's also gluten-free. So if you've got a loved one that you couldn't find a gluten-free crust to make pizza, this is a good recipe. Alright. And you're going to take 1 cup of the flour to 1 cup of liquid. But before we put our liquid, we're actually going to season our flour. Make sure you got a whole cup in there. Alright. That's 1 cup of oat flour. And to our 1 cup of oat flour, we're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder, 1/4 of a teaspoon of garlic salt, and we're going to do 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Well, let's do 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Alright, we're going to whisk that together in our bowl. Alright, to that we're going to add, let me shake this first. We're going to add 1 cup of soy milk. And we're going to pour that in. Try to get as least clumps out as possible. So we're going to pour a little bit, whisk a little bit, and pour a little bit, and whisk a little bit. Because you want like a slurry to mix with the milk and the flour and the seasonings. Alright, pour that in. Alright, I'm going to add about 1/2 of a teaspoon. Well, let's do 1/4 of a teaspoon of liquid smoke. Just to give it kind of like that cooked, kind of like meat flavor. It's not meat. We dropped our lid in our mixture, but that's alright. We can clean it off. We're going to mix that together. Got a bit of a clump, so I'm going to grab a spoon. whisk that together. Put it here in case you need it again. We're gonna whisk that together because we want like a thick slurry of the mixture of the oats, the oat flour, and the soy milk. Now this is very similar to my mom's recipe for fried chicken that she makes, except I've got a few more extra seasonings, and mine's gluten-free and vegan. So, alright, you don't need to watch me whisk that anymore. I'm gonna pause the camera for a second. I'm gonna whisk this. I'm gonna put my hair off to the side so we can dredge our bits of cauliflower and put it in a side bowl until our pizza is done. Give me just a second. Alright, we're ready to dredge our bits of cauliflower. Now, I've got frozen cauliflower that I've used, that I've had thaw for just a minute. We're going to dredge that in the batter. We're going to put it in a bowl. Because I was figuring that if we got frozen ones, that as we put it into the liquid and let it dry a little bit, it would freeze the batter to the cauliflower. Now, a good recipe to do also is to batter the cauliflower, freeze them, batter them again, and then put them in your oven. Or some people would use like fry them. I don't fry them. I put them in the oven. Now, since we made a slurry and we didn't make a wet and a dry batter, I only need to dirty one hand. So, I'm going to put those few in there. I'm going to be doing the whole bag of cauliflower because I'm actually going to have some that I'm going to give to my mom to try. So, I'm not going to be eating all of these quote-unquote cauliflower wings by myself. I'm gonna eat the pizza by myself. I'm not gonna kid you. I'm not gonna make as if I'm not. I'm gonna eat the whole pizza by myself. It's a tiny pizza. I might eat two. And it's Valentine's Day. I'm gonna treat myself. Alright, a few little pieces in here. Alright, our pizza's done. Throw these a bit in a bowl. Alright, I'm going to dunk a few more of these in our mixture, and then we're going to put them in our oven when we take out our pizza. While our wings are cooking, we're going to make our dessert and put that in the fridge. So when after we finish eating, it'll be good to go. First, let me finish these wings. Now, there's no exact science to this that I've found, but if you think there is an exact science, do that. Alright. I'm going to get my hands all washed up. Ah, the warm water feels good because that water was kind of... soy milk was cold. Alright, I'm going to take out, get off my hand a little bit. I'm going to take this off. Oh, look at that. That's lovely. I take our pizza off the oven. Come give you a look. Oh, a bit of our cheese got stuck to our, there we go. Alright, I'm going to show you our pizza that I just made before I add my secret ingredient on top. But Amber, that's got so many already. It's not enough. There always needs to be more. Now, I've actually cut up an avocado. Then I'm going to put raw and cold on top of my pizza. That's going to go on top. Because even though the cheese is giving us our fat content and is very creamy, we actually want to add a little bit more creaminess. Because you can always add more creaminess. It's great. We've got the crunch with our wings that we're going to get later, so it's fine. Now I'm going to be using an entire half of an avocado. Just sponging that on top. In little pieces. It's still going to be a little spreadable. Now this is a very overripe avocado, so it's very soft. I mean, avocados have two modes. Just barely enough to be edible, not edible. Oh wait, no, three modes. Just edible, not edible, and entirely too hard to eat, and you need to wait to eat it. I guess that's inedible, so there really is two. Alright. That's all set. I'm going to come show you our pizza with our newly put on avocado. Look at it. It's glorious. Alright. Now our pizza's done. We're actually going to set that aside and let it rest. I'm going to give this 5 minutes to rest, and while that's doing that, I'm going to clean up the station, and I'm going to be plopping, I'm going to show you that I'm going to be plopping my wings in my oven. But first I need to clean up from making the batter. It might taste a little bit of the pizza, I'm not going to lie, it looks good. Alright, we've got our station all cleaned up, or at least tucked to the back so you can't see it. We're going to take some cooking spray. We're going to spray the grill of my oven, because I clean it every time after I use it. And we're going to put our newly dredged cauliflower rings on top. Actually, we're going to take that flip over. We're going to spray it again. Alright, and we're going to take those in there. Now, I did just make up this recipe as I'm making it. If you hadn't noticed by me talking to myself and not looking at the camera for a short period of time. So that's how that goes. Alright, we've got all of our wings in there. So rinse my hands real quick. We're going to put our lid on our top of our machine. It's for 350. We're going to put it for 20 minutes. Alright, well that's doing its thing. Gonna clean up. Alright, next time you see me, there's going to be bananas, chocolate, and chopped things that go on top of the bananas. While our wings are cooking in the oven. So that's happening too. Alrighty, on our workstation we have 2 medium-sized bananas. We've got about 1/4 of a cup of almonds, and we've got a little bit of coconut chips. Now, these almonds I had cut up in a previous video. I'd use a knife, but I ain't got time for that today. So we're going to take that, we're going to grind it just a little bit. If you want, you can use a food processor for this. Alright. Alright, it's quite a made almond flour, but there's still some good chunks in there. We're going to take our bananas and we're going to peel them. Now, if you're going to be not serving them out of these plates and you're going to have to put them in your icebox that doesn't have room, I suggest putting these in a wax paper lined baking pan or in a container that you can either eat out of or serve from, that it won't stick to the bottom. But since I'm going to be serving out of this plate, it doesn't matter if the chocolate kind of gets everywhere and it sticks, because I don't need to transfer it. And I've got my trusty chocolate fudge that I've made in my previous videos. Just look back about 2 videos. If I can, I'll try to link it. This is the best chocolate fudge you will ever make video. And we're going to take that and we're going to microwave it for about 10 seconds in a glass jar. While it's doing its thing. Now, we've got almonds, we've got our coconut chips, we've got our little bit of almonds chopped up here. Alright. We're going to stir our chocolate just a little bit. And we're going to drizzle that over our bananas. Now you've probably seen chocolate bananas at like amusement parks and things, and they're on a stick. But bananas were on sale, and I don't have a stick to put them on, and we're going to make it a little bit more classy by putting it in a fancy plate, or in my case my china, which is all the dishes I use normally. I'm going to put a generous amount of chocolate on there because we need the coconut chips and the bits of almond to stick to the chocolate. Alright. We're going to take our almond bits. We're going to sprinkle that on top. Then we're going to take our coconut chips, which I've already mashed in the bag. We're going to put those. Now, if you have like cacao nibs or like a dairy-free chocolate you want to put instead, or maybe some other toppings for your bananas, that would also taste really good. But I had tried this recipe the other day to test it out, and almonds and coconut chips were the ones I wanted. Alright, I'll put a little bit more on this, and then I'm going to come show you what I've made before I put it in the ice box to freeze. You can see like that. I've got a beautiful chocolate covered bananas. I'm going to put those in my ice box in just a minute. Before I do that, I'm going to take this pizza. I'm going to cut a slice of it because I'm going to be the only one eating it, and I'm going to taste it in front of you because it's going to be delicious. Ooh, so good. I can smell the seasoning we put in the crust, and it's wonderful. Alright, let me cut just a little piece